festival. You are listening to SGFR, podcast radio for the festival. Now broadcasting highlights and top picks, your tasty, tantalizing tease for this coming year.
Anyway, we're here with Syra. And Syra, I've got to admit, I've been eager to have you on the show for quite a while. I made a comment in the previous show about big egos and so on. That's nothing to do with you. Because
Oh, it's fine. James is here. I'm outdwarfed.
He's gone really quiet.
Oh, poor sweet Syra. If only you knew the truth.
James is much misunderstood. You understand this? He's
So am I. James and I are together in our misery of being misunderstood.
So welcome to the Misery Show. The Doctor is in.
Andy and I are starting a business. We're going to have a small tent at the festival for mid-festival therapy. If anyone's
people who are sad about
just
people thinking they have large egos.
Just anyone who's hit rock bottom. Here's me and Andy.
James, that was actually beautifully phrased.
Thank you. A major tool in our arsenal of improving your mood is Schadenfreude.
Yeah, we are either.
You have to sing it though.
We are either where you go when you hit rock bottom, or when you get to us, you've hit rock bottom. It's
Yes.
one of the two. There's an ambiguity about that which I really enjoy. It seems very apt. You know, I was working towards this thing about introducing Syra and asking Syra why she's here in the podcast, because although I've asked her to come along, we don't actually have a specific thing to talk about. But instead of doing that, what I do is talk about, well, given the choice of James or myself as therapist at the festival.
So, I mean, let me think about this. I'm going to weigh up some pros and cons here. So let's start with some pros. Let's start with the pros. So, I think James has probably DM'd the most games for me of anyone. And I've been DM'd by a lot of, possibly not the most at, sessions, but certainly the most different games. And obviously, as we all know, through TTRPGs, you can often create, your historic childhood trauma, and, you can work that out through there. So James is amazing for supporting through that. But then, Andy, you are that calm voice of reason, except when you're not. But generally, you're that calm voice of reason.
If you could take my content, but in Andy's voice, it would be the perfect.
Exactly, it's Andy's calming voice, and James's content. I think the answer is it's the two of you together. James is in the back room. You've got a little audio device in your ear. You're running some TTRPGs for people who this is explicitly only traumatic backgrounds. No lightweight stuff. James and I can talk about our campaign of masks in a minute. And so James is feeding you sort of the ideas, and then it's coming in your very calming, soothing voice. I think that's the answer, and that's how to do it.
A lot of our listeners don't actually know. When I say listeners, I just mean the one. Don't actually know that this is how we run the show anyway.
Yeah. The way that Andy likes to do it is at the start of the episode, not introduce anyone. He doesn't introduce himself, doesn't introduce me or Laura, or any of the guests who have been kind of on the previous shows as well.
On which night? Hi, I'm Syra.
Yeah, but I think the person who's guesting on this episode will get a bit of an introduction. Sorry, Syra, that you haven't managed it yet. But yeah, and then the listeners just have to kind of work out through context clues who the rest of us are.
The trouble is, you see, our one listener already knows us really, really well.
That is fair.
So, why are we bothering?
Hi, Mum.
Unfortunately, Andy, I may be that one listener. At which point...
Oh, two!
Hey!
We've got two
Laura's
listeners!
mum.
Full introduction.
Ali, we got.
Oh, so we have got one listener today.
Just one.
Well, if Ali's on the air,
It's the name of the game. Oh yeah, Ali can't listen and be on the air at the same time.
At which point, is this all just mute?
VPNs are for.
Sorry, Syra said something to me at the same time as you did, Ali. And oddly enough, I can't multitask. So
Right, okay, let's get some
no one.
let's get some structure back in this goddamn podcast, Andy.
Well, that's your job, James.
Syra, who are you and why are you here?
Oh God, that's an existential crisis of a question, isn't it?
I'm so,
Hi, so yeah,
aggressive.
I'm Syra. I think quite a lot. I've been to the festival for what 3 years now or so. So I've been at every single one since it reopened post one of the series of dark times we've had, but the one where we weren't allowed to leave our house so much, that dark time. Having got into board games, and according to my mum, she was very surprised. Wait, you've only just started playing D&D? I assumed you'd have started when you were in your teens. But yeah, to be fair, she was right. I should have started way earlier. So. And I am probably, what do you reckon, James, Andy, Laura, infamous within the Brighton board game community?
I first met Syra at one of the Wednesday night board game meetings, and we both, as a matter of course, drop references to science fiction genre and lots of other little kind of wonderful things. And I discovered that Syra speaks the same language, which is an automatic fit for the festival.
And since then, I mean, so we've got a musicals sort of splint-off group, which the overlap. I think there's only 1 or 2 people in it who aren't big board gamers. 2 people, I will guess. Let people guess who out of the people on this interview right now are part of that, and we go and do karaoke, and we have a lot of fun. Often play board games sort of around the same time.
I'm sorry, musical, you say?
Oh, have we now got another volunteer for musicals?
Hey, Ali,
Ali
I also have never been invited to this as well. So
I didn't know you were interested, James.
There's a key difference here. I have heard Ali sing, and she's wonderful. I've heard James sing, and he's great on the podcast.
Whoa!
When you can use an auto-tuner.
No,
so James is great with an auto-tuner. Okay,
no, look, I am very, very close to the edge of breaking the no swearing rule on this podcast. I am. Andy has never heard me sing. For a start.
Just rule number 1, James. Rule number 1.
James, I dream about you singing a lot. And
secondly, I'm gonna guess one of the only people on this podcast who's ever won a karaoke competition.
Well, you can say one of the only because you're not the only, but yeah.
Yeah, I assumed there might be someone else, but yeah, I won a PlayStation 3 in a karaoke competition many years ago.
Did they know?
That's a good prize.
Did they know you won it?
They did. I didn't know I'd won it. They just said, "Oh, well done, you've won. Please give me your address." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then, like a few weeks later, on my birthday, I got a massive box in the post, and I was like, "Who's this from?" And it was a PlayStation and some SingStar equipment as well.
Did you do tub thumping?
A lot of fun.
No, God no. When I get knocked down, I never get back up again.
Very fair.
I've had it explained to me that for various health and safety reasons, we're not allowed to have fireworks in the woodland campsite that we go to. However, the idea of a karaoke, Jay,
I imagine
an expansion upon open mic stuff. Yeah.
I imagine
what's the firework connection with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was just a way of
because Andy likes to sing Katy Perry songs.
Yeah, I'm a lion. Hear me roar.
I can only imagine doing karaoke would generate a whole different set of complaints for Laura.
To answer your second question, James, why am I here?
Well done.
It's because Andy asked me repeatedly,
begged,
and then again. And then again
through the medium of song,
and then I've not been that well, or I'd have been here sooner.
I dragged her out of her sickbed to be here.
I'm feeling all right today. That's why I'm here. So yeah, I'm here at Andy's, which is nice. And
why are you at Andy's house?
Because it meant that I got out of my flat, which having been a little bit stuck in it recently. Due to health issues, it's just nice to get out and see people in person rather than just hearing their voices.
Yeah, we're going to go get brunch in a bit. Come join us if you want.
Yeah, please do. I mean, I remember when I bumped into you, I think about 6 weeks ago, James, and I was
You
like,
did.
yeah, it's been on my to-do list to message you, and I'm going to message you tomorrow, and then I didn't. It's because I've been ill.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'd love to come to brunch with you guys. Unfortunately, I have other plans.
How dare you?
Legitimately, I'm going to do karaoke.
Okay, well, can we come to karaoke?
It's I'm sorry, it's in Canterbury, so
Oh, that's too. That would be asking too much. Yeah.
That's brilliant, James. Because
Were you banned from everywhere nearer?
no, they've banned me from a lot of karaoke places in Brighton.
He can't go to Lucky Voice anymore.
it's funny how this conversation cycles back round, doesn't it? Ali has a lovely voice, and James is great on the podcast.
What I lack in kind of the right notes, I make up for in volume.
And
Gusto.
And because I know
anyone can ask for.
in case anyone's interested, the song that I won the competition with was "I Believe in a Thing Called Love" by The Darkness.
I am not surprised.
Syra, what are you most
Yeah.
looking forward to
I'm here.
in the coming festival? In
the camp out or the festival? Or
oh
both?
yeah, let's talk camp out. What are you most looking forward to in the camp out?
So the camp out, I currently don't really know yet because I haven't had any time or energy to start planning stuff, and because it is that bit more sandboxy. But I know a lot of people going, so I'm very much looking forward to being in a place which I really enjoy being with a bunch of people who I really like spending time with. And I know that I'll be getting together with them and planning things out. And just the fact there's marquees and board games available, and I know a bunch of nice people there, I will definitely find board games to play. And as I think everyone who's on the interview here at least knows, that people listening, or depending on who our one listener is, may or may not know. So Daryl was making the joke earlier about how he's an accountant and therefore he likes having all these precise rules and getting it right. So my background is maths, and I'm a chief technical officer of a cybersecurity AI company. I play the piano, and everyone used to say, oh yeah, we assume you'd like to play Bach. And I'm like, no, Bach is predictable. I like unpredictability. I'm going to play some Debussy or Rachmaninoff and then get weird. And I'm a bit like that with my board games, because if I can't insert some kind of story into it, I get bored very quickly. So while I do love building engines and engine builder games or worker placement, I love all of the different kinds of games, so long as I can be creating a story. That story could be weird and wacky. It could not be. It may hinder me massively if I'm trying to win, but I don't care about winning. I care about telling a story, which is why I love. Actually, and it's going to be shout out to Mr. Benison here, because he's a fantastic games master. It's one of the reasons I love playing games with him. Also, the referential humor he shoves in, which is I think he and I riff off each other quite well for that.
Fun fact: Syra and I met for the first time at Strange Games.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
In fact, that was my first ever game of D&D in person, because I got into it during lockdown and was playing it. I've been playing it online, and met 5 people, none of whom I'd ever met before. And James and I were 2 of the players. There was Lonica, who's absolutely wonderful. We have Ben Hooley, who's absolutely wonderful. When we were being the game was being run by Alexi, who, bless his cotton socks, he'd set it up, go, this is first level, it's going to be for complete beginners. And then while I do like story-based games with a maths background, I'm fine with rules. We've got James, who God knows how many games of D&D he's been involved in. We've got Ben, who's does a lot of running of games as well. Lonica's played a bunch. So we just spent our time creating the world's first rock band after having wandered through a dungeon. So I was the lead singer. Everyone will be pleased to hear James was not the singer. James was the James, you can tell people about your character. It's your character to tell.
I was feeling a bit devil may care, and so I created a Goliath barbarian called I think he was called Bruce.
He was called Bruce
of the Banner Clan.
That's very good.
And I think and from there the hilarity stopped.
You played the drums on yourself.
On my, oh yeah, that was right. Yeah, there's some things of that game that I Laura's already said that we can't talk about. So,
I mean, yes, I wasn't going to touch on those.
If any of these descriptions are appealing to you, come join us at the Strange Games Campout, or if you're lucky, get one of the now rarer tickets for the Strange Games Festival. And if none of these are available, come join us at one of the many board gaming or other opportunities to play that we have going around as part of the Brighton Pub Board Gamers Network. Which includes, off the top of my head, board games on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Sunday afternoons in different locations, social deductions on Mondays, a first Monday of the month meetup with RPGers, that's role-playing gamers, a new once-a-month event had taken place in Port Slade, I believe, and who knows what else. Have I missed anything? Anyone want to plug it?
The camp out.
Oh, yes. And of course, back to the camp out, which is lovely kind of grassroots thing. And to answer the earlier question, why is Syra here? Well, frankly, it's that enthusiasm. It's such a glorious taste of what we have coming up.
For Syra's benefit, I will be running a kind of RPG meetup thing at the camp out each morning, so people can come and meet GMs who want to run games, and it just like about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, nice.
Everyone can grab a coffee and meet some people and organise games for the day.
Cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. James, by the way, ran at a parallel event an episode of the game Mothership, which is not in any way alien-like at all for IP purposes, but is really quite claustrophobic and sort of xenophobic and very scary.
That makes me just wonder. I mean, that sounds awesome, but just makes me wonder which IP has been copied with non-IP the most. Because I can think of so many games that are based off Alien, which aren't Alien.
Yeah, it's an iconic thing. Like if you do like space horror, I think like sci-fi horror is a big. I mean, it fits so well together, and so when you say sci-fi horror, everyone just goes, "Oh, Alien," and so they all kind of. I think it's a natural comparison. But the very specific game that I was running for Andy with the story, it was very, very obviously based on Alien.
On that cheery note, or was there something else you wanted to say?
Come to the camp out, come to the festival, come to the Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, and the month-to-month game things.
Yeah,
right?
and occasionally on a Saturday night, we might even have a meetup online playing board games on the old computer. So you can sit there as a kind of knobby no-mates, which is what I generally do, rolling digital dice and chatting online to folks.
And also, any listeners, do make sure that you track Andy down and follow him to karaoke bars.
Yes.
He'll croon at you. He's a good crooner.
I can imagine Andy being really good at like the old school like crooner songs.
He is
like Frank Sinatra. I can imagine Andy doing a good Frank Sinatra.
Well,
he looks very embarrassed.
Yeah, Andy sang a bit of Bing Crosby last night and very crooner-esque.
And to end the podcast today, Andy will be singing us out. Whenever you're ready, Andy.
I request I'll do it my way.
It's been a joy talking to you all. And I look forward to meeting you again, dear listener, at our next podcast.
You've been listening to SGFR, the podcast radio channel for the Strange Games Festival.
This season's hosts have been James, Laura, Andy, and Craig.
And if you'd like to come on the show, message us on the festival radio channel on the Strange Games Festival Discord server.